What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here. Hopefully you guys can hear me on the Unfiltered channel. If you can, give me a thumbs up, some sort of comment in the comment section would definitely be appreciated. Hope your guys' Monday is off to a good start, like just about every Monday, although next Monday I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm going to be driving up to the Citadel. But just about every Monday, I'm going live here at 7:20 Eastern Standard Time, PM that is, just to hang out with you guys. This is essentially kind of bringing back the idea of the Matt McKeever Marijuana Madness that we used to do on my old channel, which was the Matt McKeever Real Estate channel, which is now just the Canadian Real Estate channel. But anyways, if you guys still want to hang with me, this is the place to do it. I don't really have too much to chat with you guys about. I'm just going to kind of stream of consciousness this. So if you guys have any questions, jump in the comment section. As we kind of said on the title and thumbnail of this video, I'm going to be driving up to the Citadel. So FYI, last Thursday, I did close on it. So that's exciting. And going to be driving up and just hanging out there for just under a week, just kind of get the lay of the land, go and do some measurements, get some floor plans drawn, maybe even just decompress a little bit. I'll definitely be bringing some mushrooms with me. So I also plan on tripping pretty hard on one day. And just going to really try and, start planning out the future that is the Citadel. I'm wildly excited to really just be jumping into this because this is something I always thought I'd eventually get around to doing, but it's becoming apparent to me, at least apparent from my perspective, that now is the time to take these actions. Now is the time to build the Citadel. Now is the time to build the community. Now is the time to invite you guys to join the community as well. So a reminder, if you guys haven't checked me out on Instagram or it's Instagram and YouTube, but in the YouTube description here, there should be a link to my Discord. Also on my Instagram account, so the Matt McKeever Unfiltered Instagram account, there's a link to the Discord. Really encourage you guys, join the community. There's a ton of just great people. I think we're at over 220 people now, might even be 230 people in the community, just sharing their perspective. We talk about a lot of things. We talk about NFTs. There's also an Ask Me Anything thread where you can ask me any real estate questions or any other questions and I'll answer them. As well, we've got the Pop Citadel channel where essentially I'm discussing, what my plans are, what my intentions are, and how you guys can participate in this purposeful, intentional community that I'm building. This is really just the beginning. I see this as potentially being my life's work from this point onward. And it's important to me for a variety of reasons. But before we get into that and I get too unfiltered, let's smoke a little weed. So ordered some weed online this weekend. So I think I've got some what was this? Animal cookies, which you guys, you're missing out because we don't have smell-o-vision here, but it definitely smells very potent, and I'm looking forward to smoking it. This is going to be my first hit of the animal cookies, and I don't really believe any labeling on weed products, but it claims to have 28% THC, which seems insane to me because I remember when 20% THC would be insane to me. So again, this might just be packaging flexing rather than actual quality, but it does smell good. So anyways, I'll hit the bong. Feel free to ask me any questions. And actually, we probably even have a new Lost Boy song from our boy Dan the NFT Boy. So let me find that. We'll get the old screen share up here. And if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, well, you're missing the full Matt McKeever experience. And if you're not following Dan on Twitter, well, you're missing out on really just learning about one of the new businesses I'm spending a lot of time and a lot of energy on. So really encourage you guys to jump over, start following Dan. Let's see who else is in my timeline here. We'll just talk if there's anyone really good that I'd recommend you guys follow along. So if you're not following Rug_WTF, I really encourage you guys to do so. He's a fascinating character in the NFT world and space. And actually, Dan recently just did a song for him. Oh, there's Des Bryant. So I don't know if you guys know this random dude, but apparently he's a bit of a football player, but he's also a member of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So really cool to see my fellow Bored Apes. And there's Dan the Lost Boy, or Dan the NFT Boy on Twitter. And he just released this song out into the ether earlier today. Dan tweets a lot now. He's fully embraced the NFT life, but I thought this is just so much fun. Ooh, that was a good
rug. What the fuck? Drapes. What the fuck? All the FUD and the buzz, do what everybody does. Try not to get rugged. All I got was this rug. What the fuck? Drapes. What the fuck? Rug. All the FUD and the buzz, do what everybody does. Try not to get rugged. All I got was this rug. What the fuck? And the drapes. Rap ETH. What a waste. Web3. What a place. About to rub my rug in your face. Get the love and the hate. Got rug. Make a place. Turn around in a day. 24 hours, that's all it takes. Kids don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. No, don't do vapes. No, don't do vapes. Yeah, just do rug. With the matching drapes. Your fucking marketing sucks. So come and market with us. Who? Your fucking marketing sucks. So come and market with rug. With who? Rug. What the fuck? Drapes. What the fuck? All the FUD and the buzz, do what everybody does. Try not to get rugged. All I got was this rug. What the fuck? Drapes. What the fuck? Rug. All the FUD and the buzz, do what everybody does. Try not to get rugged. All I got was this rug. What the fuck?
So first of all, if you don't understand that song, I don't blame you. You need to be pretty deep into the NFT space in order to really get all the references. But if you are deep in the NFT space, how fucking amazing was that? Am I right? And so I'll maybe just chat a little bit about the business I'm doing with Dan, and then I want to get into talking a little bit more about the Citadel. Appreciate some of the questions you're asking, Steven, so I'll cover that in a second as well. But before we get into talking about the Citadel, if you guys haven't been paying attention, I've actually and I probably don't need to screen share this. I've recently been working with Dan, the Lost Boy, Dan the NFT Boy on Twitter. But let's give a little bit of context here, maybe even. So cross paths with Dan, I want to say sometime in 2019, probably late summer, early fall. And I think probably Peter's the one that really put him on my radar. So Dan came over, I think, to hang out with Peter or chat with me. I forget how that all played out, but either way, ended up crossing paths with Dan, and we ended up shooting a live stream on Peter's YouTube channel, The Hungarian Experiment, and pretty sure we all smoked weed on that, just kind of hung out, chat with Dan. He seemed like a cool guy, really liked what he was doing and his energy, and saw a lot of potential in him. But like a lot of people, I feel like, Dan just wasn't sure how to take the next step or how to hit critical velocity. And whether you're an aspiring musician, an aspiring rapper, or an aspiring real estate investor, I think a lot of people just need someone to kind of come along and give them permission to be crazy or to lean into the opportunity. And so I remember Dan and I were meeting on a weekly basis back at the end of 2019. I was just kind of sharing my thoughts or perspective on, if I was in his shoes, how I would go about trying to make a full-time living as a rapper. Because again, while going platinum sounds wonderful and you'll certainly make a buttload of money doing that, it's a very difficult thing to do. And so I was trying to explore alternative revenue streams and sources of income that, if I was trying to hustle as a musician, that I would approach. And we explored the idea of, special kind of live events, creating custom songs and things of that nature. And as we continued to explore it, I think Dan just decided it wasn't the right time for him at that point in time. And I wish I was thinking about NFTs back at the end of 2019, because I'd be a lot fucking richer than I am today, but I'm still not complaining. And so anyways, kind of kept in touch with Dan, still wish him the best of lucks, but we didn't necessarily chat a lot or cross paths. And then I forget when exactly, but sometime I want to say at the end of 2020 or early 2021, I started really thinking about this NFT stuff again, and started seeing Gary Vee chat about NFTs, Kevin Rose, a serial tech entrepreneur that I really respect. He was talking about it. I saw Alex Becker also talking about them on his YouTube channel. I was like, man, this is just kind of an interesting cross section of individuals that are all chatting about this thing that's kind of adjacent to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And, I wish I would have paid a lot more attention to the people I had coming out to my cryptocurrency meetup back in 2017. Because again, I'd be a lot richer than I am today, but I'm still not complaining. And essentially, yeah, started really thinking about NFTs, saw all these like what they call PFP or profile photo projects popping off, and they're interesting. I love them. Bored Apes, obviously, both is a project I really just enjoy. The art, I love the community, and I definitely appreciate the appreciation my portfolio's seen because of the 4 Bored Apes I hold. But I realized that there's only probably so many PFPs that can be created, or there's always going to be another artist. There's always going to be a new hot thing. And so I started thinking, what are some other applications or some other ways that people can use this NFT concept? And again, if you guys are ever interested, if you go over to my Matt McKeever website, you can actually find an e-guide on CryptoPunks, and it explains a little bit about NFTs as well. Or you can find that in the bio on my Matt McKeever 85 Instagram account. So again, I encourage you guys to go over and check that out. But I was like, man, I remember talking to Dan about this idea of custom songs and music. NFTs now could really layer on the opportunity to create a secondary market, where originally the only way to make money or get any sort of traction was in a primary market, in my opinion, like, business to consumer. But the idea that now we could be like B2B, or we could be B2C, and then, consumers could sell to other consumers with smart contracts, the idea of being able to take like a royalty or commission on the back end on platforms like OpenSea is fascinating. And so start chatting with Dan again on a regular basis. And after, I don't know, probably a couple of months of chatting about it, we decided to take the plunge, get into business together. And so very soon we're going to be launching a project called Lost Boys 52. I'm really excited by it. I'm really proud of it. And Dan is just absolutely crushing it on all fronts and just leaning into this crazy opportunity that is the NFT world. So anyways, every Friday he is dropping a new song. So really encourage you guys to follow him on Instagram. But circling back to what I was originally talking about, the Citadel, I was sharing on Sunday a couple photos. And so just an FYI, guys, when I say Citadel vibes, I'm probably not saying that I'm actually at the Citadel. So the plants that I was showing in the garden from yesterday, those are actually my brother-in-law's. So again, he's definitely got a green thumb. Really love what he's doing in his backyard. I'm trying to talk him and my sister and their kids into moving up to the Citadel with me. So let me know what approach to my persuasive technique should I be taking here? Or we already watched the Chris Voss videos. So let me know what other negotiation tips do you got for me when trying to convince, relatively normal people. They're still a little bit crazy, but just not quite full on crazy the way I am. How would you try and convince them to drop everything and move into the middle of the wilderness so that, they can unschool their kids? Let me know. How would you go about trying to convince 2 young parents to do that with 3 kids? But anyways, he's got a great garden. He lets me raid his peppers. So got some green peppers, some jalapenos, and apparently some other pepper that's even like way hotter than jalapenos. So I'm going to be diving into that tomorrow with my steak. So I'll let you know how that goes. But he said to be careful. So I'm going to tread lightly on the first pepper or 2 there. And definitely though, next year looking to start a large garden at the Citadel. Right now, it used to be a fishing lodge, so it's on a great lake, not a great lake, but a lake that happens to be great in my opinion. That's filled with fish. Not a lot of other people living on the property or on the lake, so I think there's probably like less than a dozen cottages or houses on the lake that I've got my 400 plus feet of waterfront on. So there's fish there in that lake. And then in addition, there's wild raspberries growing in a couple different patches on the 20 acres we've got there. But definitely want to build an indoor greenhouse. I'd love for each cabin, there's 8 separate cabins on the property, for each one of them to have a little garden patch, because I think it'd be great for guests when they come over to be able to, honestly, I think probably some city people, especially after we go through one more lockdown season. You guys know there's going to be another lockdown season, right? But I think after we go down one more lockdown season, a lot of city people are going to want to start learning more about gardening. They're going to want to get back more to the earth, using their hands and just a little bit of manual labor. So I love the idea of having a garden around each cottage. So, whether it's for permanent residents that happen to live in the cottage, or whether it's guests that are coming just to check things out. I think that it's, a great time to be planning these sort of things, because spring will be upon us pretty soon, even though it'll probably be a pretty cold winter up there. We are in northwestern Ontario, and definitely want to get some, fruit trees planted. I'd love to get some blueberries growing there, get some blackberries, all the berries, all the fruit, get all that going, in addition to having some wonderful gardens indoor and out. Love to get some laying hens as well. And then looking to buy, a couple hundred acres of rough pasture or a little bit of farmland in regards to a nearby property, so that we've got some hunt land as well as some pasture for some grazing animals. And that'll be lots of fun as well. This will be an iterative process. And honestly, at this point in time, I know this is a bigger endeavor than one man can undertake. I think I'm going to be able to fund the first good little runway here we've got. But at the same time, it's definitely going to be a community effort. So understand that in the Discord, I posted 2 job opportunities, and I'm sure I can find more job opportunities as well if you're willing to either learn or you've got a useful skill set. But several of the cottages need serious repairs. I'd love to build additional buildings on this property and other properties I acquired nearby. I'll likely start a local little flipping business, buy some local houses. We'll do, a little bit of wholesaling, maybe even, but buy some local houses, flip them, either sell them, keep them as Airbnbs, keep them as just places for other people to live, people in my community or my extended community, or potentially looking to start offering rent to own programs or private financing for the flipped properties. I just see unlimited potentials. At this point in time, I'm confident if I want to make money, I can make money. I'm pretty confident for those that want to make money with me that we can make money. So again, I really just want to make the most of this opportunity in this community. So if you guys are interested in learning more, make sure you check out the Discord link. It'll be in the video description down below. It's also on my Matt McKeever Unfiltered Instagram profile. So really encourage you guys, go out there, just start making friends. There's lots of great resources being shared in the community. And who knows, maybe someday you'll either want to or need to move up there with me. Absolutely, that song was fire, and Dan is a badass. Henry's asking, would you ever purchase an aircraft? I don't know how much space the Citadel has that you could dedicate to one. Yes, so my intentions are to buy a float plane before the end of next year. Adam Martin's right now getting his pilot's license. And when we eventually get a couple hundred acres of land, we'll probably look at if there's a flat enough land or eventually grading the land so that we could have a runway there as well. So absolutely, definitely going to do that, because I don't know if you guys heard about some of this bullshit they're trying to do, but they're trying to say that even just fly interprovincially, you need a vaccine passport. And if they get away with that, they're eventually going to make you get one just for any sort of air travel. So again, fuck that shit. We'll just buy an airplane. Fuck that shit. We'll just build our own towns, our own community. At this point in time, literally, what good do they really do for you? I was saying to Peter earlier today, I'm really starting to view any aisle in the grocery store or your local convenience store. All I see is poison on the shelves, right? And when I look at your local TV, whether it be the local TV news, whether it be the national news, whether it's just the TV programming you get on your satellite or cable or Netflix or Amazon Prime, again, it all just kind of looks like poison to me at this point in time. And I think I'm just done with it. And honestly, I've always thought that I've got smarter than average followers. And it's kind of shocking to me how few of you seem to really be willing to speak out about this stuff, and how few of you are really willing to, risk it all to live a better life. I mean, what the fuck are you risking if you're going to get a better life out of it? But it's just wild to me, the inertia, the fear. People just keep asking, what if Matt gets bored of it? What the fuck? I'm going to get bored of living a better life? Does that really sound like a thing that's going to happen? And again, I'm not saying that we go to being Luddites, that we completely forego technology or the conveniences of modern life. I'm saying that we just pick and choose the best parts, but we also pick and choose the best parts from the past. I imagine, the optimal schedule being working 15 to 30 hours a week with your hands or physical labor, whether that's building things, gardening, raising animals, fishing, hunting, just, useful, practical, but hands-on skill sets. And then spending an equivalent amount of time doing, modern technology set. flipping JPEGs, starting NFT projects, just learning more online. And then the rest of the time just spent, raising your family, focused on self-improvement and improving the people in your community. I think that there's something that we've really lost when we moved away from knowing our neighbors, from intergenerational living, from having deep community social bonds. And now it's bizarre. Like, instead of sorting yourself around good people, you sort yourself around people that are in the same income bracket. Right. So, okay, if I can afford $1 million house, I should go move into $1 million neighborhood. And then I'm never going to talk to the neighbors, or I'm going to secretly judge them. And it's just like, what are you doing? And, I'm going to go over and tell them, hey, your grass is getting kind of long and this is a nice neighborhood. So it's wild what we choose to focus on these days. And yet people are just giving away their freedoms. So, back to your point, Henry. Yes, we are going to be buying a plane, and I will get a plane before the end of the year. 8x4 is a lot of plants. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, snowmobiling, there's a lot of opportunities for snowmobiling, for ice fishing up by the Citadel as well. And lots of great trails. Like right where we are, there's not a ton, but the moment you were to go north or south, just because we're kind of in a little narrow, where there's just a strip of land and then bodies of water on all sides. But that doesn't sound terrible either. And so lots of opportunities for winter sports. Definitely gets cold up there, right? So if you're trying to think of like, oh, what's it like? It's like northwestern Ontario or like northern Minnesota, right? That's the sort of weather and climate we're dealing with. But at the same time, beautiful in the summer, very hot. We've got a hard packed sand beach that's on the property. We're pretty well surrounded by a lot of crown land, just a couple neighbors. And it's just a little slice of paradise, but we can still make it a lot more nice. And it's really just going to be a community effort. And I'm extending that invitation of community to just about anyone and everyone that's crazy enough to say yes, at least at this stage, right? Because it takes true commitment right now to be willing to say yes. Everyone's willing to join when it's easy, right? Like right now, if I was to be like, hey, any of you want to partner with me on a real estate investment? Everyone would be like, yeah, sure, I'm 100% in. Because I've got years and years and years of a successful track record, and I've documented for years and years and years that track record. But going into a new endeavor, that's where it takes the true believers, or the people that truly believe in the mission. Because again, I see poison everywhere. You go into your local school, that teachers union does not give a fuck about your children. Half those teachers do not give a fuck about your children. And, half of them will demand that your children be vaccinated for their safety, not for the kids' safety. They don't, again, give a fuck because look at it. It's really not that risky. But anyways, it's unfortunate that we're so divided. And I understand sometimes when I go off on a tear like that, that's divisive language. You'll never convince me that teachers' unions are good. You can convince me that individual teachers are great people. But in general, I think what's important to understand is at this point in time, like they've divided you every way they can. They divided you by your sexual orientation. They divide you by your race. They divide you by, by your medical status now. And it only feels like it's going to continue unless we decide to speak out. And to me, the idea of the Citadel is the first step in speaking out. Because until you're really free from the system, how free are you really to speak out? I mean, there's so many real estate investors that will secretly be like, yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying, Matt, but I don't want to rock the boat. What if one of my private investors got scared? Do you hear yourself? Literally, for the risk of a little bit of pain or a little bit of hassle to your business model, you would give up all freedom for that fake sense of security? Have you ever seen or studied history to any extent whatsoever? Even the shitty version they teach you in the school system is enough for you to realize how dangerous that is. This is an important time, guys. This is a time where you get to step up and be a man or a woman and represent your personal values, or this is a time where you're just going to trade it all in for convenience, for just conformity, for not having to be having that sense of fear of uncertainty or stepping outside of your comfort zone. So many people will accept the prison that they know versus the unknown, just the unknown, right? It's the same, like, and I guess it's almost unfortunate to see nations, both the US and Canada, nations built upon immigrants and immigration, just turtling like this. Your ancestors wouldn't have done this. Your ancestors wouldn't have caved in nearly as easy as we're currently caving in. They were strong people. They took the risk of traversing however they got here, whether that be by sea, by plane, by foot. Again, depend on how deep your roots are here, but they wouldn't have put up for this. They would have demanded their little slice of freedom. And so many of them came here for that purpose. And yet to see just a few generations later, us handing over every freedom that we have just for a hope of security. I really think it's unfortunate how far away we've got from intergenerational living, because I think that all of our ancestors would slap us silly for letting it slip away. And again, I understand people will be like, oh, the modern conveniences, da 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 da. No, they still, like, they demanded the best of their times, right? Even the pioneers were still embracing the modern technology that they had there. And they were also focused on improving their laws and improving their freedom. How many of us have ancestors that came here fleeing religious persecution? And now we're so quick to persecute those that are religious. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy, guys. I'm saying, like, let's fucking do this. I'm crazy enough to actually start this thing. So make sure you join me on Discord. It turns out I don't really have too much to even chat about tonight. So if you guys got any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'm going to smoke another bowl. I think I've got another Dan song that I'm going to play for you. And otherwise, we can just kind of peace out. But again, really excited to be going up to the Citadel. Really excited by this opportunity. And I hope those of you that are truly interested consider taking me up on this offer. I mean, worst case scenario, come up for a year, figure out it's not for you, or it's not all I promised or made it out to be. Although, why at this point, why would I scam people into living with me? I just don't even understand my angle. But even if it turns out not for you, you can just go back to your normal life. You can just opt back in, go back, swallow that blue pill, go back into the matrix, and pretend like it never happened. And really, how much is 1 year away going to cost you on your net worth journey, on your career journey, on your whatever journey? I just don't think it's going to be that significant. But maybe I don't know what I don't know. Anyways, what I do know is Dan is killing it, and we're going to listen to another Dan song while I hit a bowl.
Check it. I'm a lost boy, never ever stop, boy. Trying to get on top, boy, don't care what it costs, boy. Dripping with that sauce, boy. Mental health hot, boy. Frequency won't drop, boy. Yeah, I'm a lost boy. Yeah, I'm a lost boy. Yeah, I'm a lost boy. I'm way too gone in the deep end. Don't get along, don't really need friends. Don't set alarms, going hard, I'm never sleeping. Been way too calm in the deep end. I'm way too calm, way too gone, digging deep now. I'm sinking in my thinking, binging just to sleep now. Been way too long, way too far, sinking deep now. I'm sinking in my drinking, rock bottom, my feet down. Feeling claustrophobic in my own skin. These puppets lie a lot, so their nose grows big. Just like the rose gold ring, I keep the circle tight, you should know those things. I'm a lost boy, never ever stop, boy. Trying to get on top, boy, don't care what it costs, boy. Dripping in that sauce, boy. Mental health hot, boy. Frequency won't drop, boy. Yeah, I'm a lost boy. Yeah, I'm a lost boy. Yeah, I'm a lost boy. Lo-fi, so we can go hot. Shout out to the Lost Boy community with unity. Danny NFT boy. Spread that love.
All right, guys. So yeah, appreciate those of you watching along. Again, won't be back here next Monday because I'll be up at the Citadel, but I'll come back the following Monday. Feel free to hit me up with any questions. Make sure you guys check out the Discord if you're at all interested. I mean, if you listen to this point, you should really be in the Discord if you aren't already. But appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.